Welcome to my discussion of autism spectrum disorder. A big note I'm going to make early on while discussing this is I'm autistic. I was diagnosed when was 13, and it affects how I view a lot of discussion of autism spectrum disorder. Often I'll use the terminology autistic instead of people with autism because the autistic community on average tends to favor that terminology. Autism, from my personal experience, is a developmental disorder that falls under the umbrella of neurodiversity. It exists on a spectrum, which means people can have people have a variety of strengths and weaknesses in areas including communication, social interaction, sensory processing. A lot of people may require additional assistance in their lives. Others excel in creative, memory, or problem solving. An old disorder, the one I was originally diagnosed with back before it was defunct, was Asperger's syndrome or Asperger's. It was previously thought to be a variant of autism and is now referred to sometimes as high functioning, but is just now kind of fused into the autism spectrum umbrella. The biggest thing I have to discuss is autism is not an illness. People with autism do not have a terminal disease. Growing up and watching many autistic people speak, it's clear that the community and people have viewed autism as this deadly illness that takes away your child's ability to communicate. I look back on the video created by Autism Speaks many years ago called I Am Autism, which showed the disorder as something that steals your children away, their voices and their ability to communicate. I think this does a horrible disservice not only to high support needs autistics like myself who are able to fully communicate, but even to our low support need autistics who use tools to communicate like assistive technologies. Almost every autistic person is a person first and foremost. They just happen to be autistic. And that means they just communicate differently. And as an educator, it's important to know these differences. A lot of the challenges faced by autistic people include sensory overload. Everyday sounds and lights and smells can be overwhelming for them. Stimming, repetitive movements. A lot of people think of the stereotypical arm flapping. A lot of what I've seen is vocal tics, people repeating. Students will repeat similar phrases, words, songs, book titles. Often, however, once we get our students, especially in older grade levels like 4th through 5th, they'll be masking. Masking is the hiding of autistic traits in order to fit in. A lot of old therapy, especially traditional ABA, is about teaching children how to mask instead of teaching them stims that help them and are positive without being distracting. Autistic children have deep internal worlds. They are thinking people. They have amazing creative thoughts, but the inability to communicate those with you. Because of this, a lot of students will succeed in visual thinking or creative activities such as art or drawing, pattern recognition, and problem solving. They can see details, logic, connections others may miss. They have deep special interests that help them communicate to the world. It's a way for them to process information. They enjoy the school environment because it's structured, rule focused. They love procedures. Technology is another great way to help them. The video I found by Stuart Duncan discusses the Oshcraft server, which was an incredible environment for students to practice these socializing skills in a harm-free environment. Using protections and assistive tools such as Podium or assistive communication devices, children with autism are able to communicate more effectively than ever before. As a teacher, we should want to create safe, regulated social environments that reduce sensory overload. Teach children to express their authentic selves instead of masking. Make things such as arm flapping not a problem. Make kids be able to stim because these sort of movements are not done for the sake of it. They are done to help regulate emotions. and use technology as a bridge between these feelings and a child's sense of self and ability to communicate to you. A challenge I have, and I hope all of us can take into our futures, is our autistic children will face these unique obstacles, such as sensory overload, communication barriers, and the push to mask themselves into these tiny boxes that suffocate themselves until they burn out. We should bring out their essential talents and their creativity, their attention, their problem solving skills. Technology and an environment where they feel safe gives them that room to grow. Overall, I hope you enjoyed my presentation and have a great day.